What's up, everybody? Emerald Void here, welcoming you to this first episode of Jank Deck Techs. Today, we're going to be playing some Hearthstone, and the deck that I'm going to be showcasing today is this Jank deck that I built that I've called Reno Dragon Tamers, and this is version 1 of the build. The star of the show here, obviously, is Reno, and we're running all of the Renos that I currently own. So we're running Reno Jackson, Reno the Relicologist, and the Amazing Reno. And really, other than them, the other big star of the show has got to be Prince Renathal. It sets your starting deck size to 40, which gives us 10 extra cards, and we have our starting health is set to 40. So we're getting a little bit, we're getting a 10 card advantage in the deck, and we're getting 10 extra life at the start of the game. And basically, this deck is all about RNG and dragons. This deck is just super. It can be really resilient. Granted, I'm in very low level bronze right now. I guess I should have prefaced the video here. I'm not a professional Hearthstone player. I just play for fun. This is actually the first time I've touched the game in about like 2 years. I've been an on and off Hearthstone player for roughly the entire lifespan of the game. I started playing maybe 4 or 5 months after Hearthstone came out, and I've been playing on and off since then. But enough about that. Let's get into the deck. We've got Babbling Brook. You know, it's a good little cantrip. Add a random mage spell to your hand just for 1 mana, so it's a good turn 1. For threat assessment, we've got like Devolving Missile, just because it doesn't always. It's not as good as a surefire removal, like a regular Polymorph or a Fireball or a Frostbolt or some direct target removal. But being able to effectively polymorph their big bomb into something that's weaker and hopefully less effective for their strategy is it's nice. And that's the main reason why it's in here. Is it's just a little bit more of an out for us if things start getting out of hand. We've got Evocation for that random mage goodness. Magic Trick, more random goodness. Solarian, just because Solarian. I don't even really have much to say about that. Thalnos for spell damage, and it just draws us a card. We've got our dragon synergies. Fairy Dragon, just because it's a cheap 2 mana dragon. More RNG. We got Frostbolt for removal. More RNG for discovering a dragon, which fuels our dragon synergies. Primordial Glyph, more RNG goodness. Shimmering Tempest, more RNG. Trick Totem, more RNG. Zephyrus, the king of RNG. Arcane Intellect for drawing cards. Random counter spell, just because sometimes you just need to get rid of a spell. We've already went over Renthal. Scale Rider for dragon goodness. Starlight Whelp, just because it's a cheap dragon that can potentially get us a really good bomb that we had in our opening hand. Arcane Brilliance to draw some of our expensive spells. We actually don't run any 7 mana spells, but we run 8 and 10 for sure. This is one that I would consider cutting. Azure Explorer, more dragon RNG. We've got Fireball for removal. Frizz Kindle Root reduces dragons. Incanter's Flow reducing spell cost. More RNG. More RNG for potions. We've got Polymorph for removal. When you draw it, add a random dragon. So it's RNG. It's a dragon. It's a decent stats for the mana value, or for the crystal value. I don't know what it's called. We're just gonna call it mana value. It's got 4/5 taunt. Gets a dragon. Like when you draw a dragon, it adds a random dragon, which is good. Azure Drake, just because spell damage and draw a card. Jandis Barav, she's mainly in here just because you drop her down on 5, you get 2 bodies, and you have to make them pick which one they kill. So it can add some pretty interesting synergies. Malagos Aspect of Magic, just more dragon RNG. Blizzard for mass board damage and freeze. Dragon Caster lets us play our big bombs for free, which we only have a couple. Reno Jackson, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Reno Relicologist. He's okay. He's just in here because it's a Reno deck, and that's, kind of the deal. Power of Creation, another RNG that can potentially get us good bombs. Tortalon Pilgrim can cast one of our big bombs. Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, RNG Dragon synergy. puzzle box for the memes, and the amazing Reno, which is a more RNG. It's mainly in here because it is a make all minions disappear, so it doesn't trigger death rattle, it doesn't silence, it just gets rid of all the minions. And at the start of your turn, you get to cast a random spell, which may or may not be good. And that's pretty much the deck. It is very much RNG heavy. You could probably cut some of the RNG for something a little more stable, something with a little more removal, because it does seem like it does struggle a little bit with removal sometimes. Of course, aggro decks are the bane of our existence, because if you're playing an aggro deck, they're gonna want to do what aggro decks do, and that's come at your face. That's also why we run Renathal, because that is a soft, I wouldn't say counter, but that is a soft counter, for lack of a better word, to aggro decks, because giving us the extra 10 life means they're going to have to go a little bit harder, and hopefully we can make them overextend and then hit them with a big bomb, like a big board wipe or something. Potential cards that I think would be worth adding, Flame Strike is one that I've been considering, just because, 5 damage to all minions, that's nothing to scoff at, because that can potentially wipe a board. We're really at a point now where cuts are, like, Jandis could probably be cut. She's just in there for RNG. And there are probably a couple of cards we could cut. Trick Totem. We didn't go over Trick Totem, but we have Trick Totem, which is more RNG. Sometimes it hinders, sometimes it helps. That's the thing with this deck, is with the RNG, you're never really sure what you're going to get. If you're interested in playing this deck, I'll have the deck code in the description, and we're going to go ahead and get into a couple of games. So, up against a warrior. We will ditch the Blizzard and the Reno. We've got a good 2 and a good 3 and another good 2. So we could go turn 1 Solarian to get a 3/2 out, then 2 Primordial Glyph, 3 into Whelp, and then get either a Dragon Caster, another Solarian, or a Primordial Glyph. Getting that 40 life padding is a really good. I don't know what to expect with Warrior. I've had bad experiences with Warriors in the past, so I'm a little bit, little skeptical here, because this is also wild as well, so there's no Alpharet's Core. Okay. So we are going to Solarian now. If we need to, we can Frostbolt. If he plays a minion, we can Frostbolt it, or we can Frostbolt his face to slow down his hack the system. I feel like this is going to be some sort of Bomb Warrior or Mech Warrior. So he's gaining the 2 armor. We're still going to hit him for 1, regardless. Hit him for 1. Discover a spell. Lowest cost minion in your hand. 3 damage to all minions. We're going to take the Volcanic Potion. Doing the damage to minions is just, is going to be good, I think. Then on 3, we're probably going to drop the Whelp, and then probably, hopefully... I don't know if we want another Solarian, just because that will screw our Reno synergies if we don't, until we draw the Solarian Prime. Because if we play it, and they both die, that shuffles Solarian Prime in twice, and that does kind of break our Reno synergy until we draw one of them. I'm hoping he goes slow, and keep in mind that these are low-level bronze wild games, so we're not going to probably see anything too terribly crazy in low-level bronze. But you never really know, because this is wild. Good removal there. Go ahead and do that. Got another Primordial Glyph, which is fine. Now we've got 7 on board. He's got to start dealing, or we're going to start pushing for damage. We're going to start pushing for 5 a turn unless he deals with what's on our board. Not really sure what we're going to do going into 4, though. Probably Primordial Glyph. So there's the rush. That's fine. There goes our board. That's perfectly fine. We're just going to do that. We'll go ahead and reduce our spells. Getting that reduction is going to make it a little bit easier for us to do some stuff. Now, if we could get the other reducer that we have for dragons, that would also be good. Going into 5, we're probably going to Jandas just to get some extra dudes on board to make him kind of... He's either going to have to deal with them or they're going to come at him, right? And she is an RNG, super RNG engine, because you never... It's any random 5-cost minion from any class, so you're never really sure what you're going to get. We do also still have devolving missiles for a little bit of threat assessment, or a little bit of threat removal if we need it. I'm not really sure what his deck does. He's just been gaining armor, and he played 1 rush minion, and that's really been it. He's not really played anything for us to really know, so we kind of want to keep our removals. Until he does... It's a Galancron deck. Interesting. Galancron. I haven't seen that in a minute. We'll just do that still. We're just going to do that, because now he's got to play the 50-50 game of which one of these is going to die when I attack it. So he's probably going to get that hack the system. At this rate with Galancron. That's a deck I think I want to do next. The next video, I think I want to do a Galancron, either Priest or Rogue. Galancron. Or Galacron. I think that could be really fun. I think that I have a lot of the cards for it. Up. There's the bombs. That's going to break our Renos if we don't deal with it. Top decking a bomb right now would be really good. Alright, so we're going to get rid of that. We're going to play the Zephyrus. Hopefully get Acidic Slime. Or, yeah, Acidic Swamp Ooze. Get rid of that. Go ahead and discover spell, reduce its cost. The enemy plays a card on the turn that it entered their hand. Get a copy that costs 0. I think we take that for protection. I think we take that for protection. Because that will, if he gets a big wide board, we can just reduce some of the damage. We've got 1 bomb in our deck. As long as he doesn't shuffle any more in, we should be good. We probably need to go ahead and Kazakus on the next turn just to get it out of our hand. Brawl, that's fine, depending on what we keep. We kept the Ooze, that's fine. We're gonna Kazakus. We are going to go with the 10 mana. Take that for removal. So now we've got a 10 mana bomb board wipe spell. We'll just go ahead and ping, swing, and say go. So that'll transform them all into 1/1 sheeps and deal 6 damage. So that will board wipe if he plays a bunch of stuff. That is fine. We can deal with that. Discover a secret. Twin spell. We could have. So there, I think we messed up because we could have just did the ping. We could have hit it with a frostbolt, then did it for 1, and then probably killed it, I believe. Yeah, that put it at 2. We had to do that. On 9, since we really don't have a board to worry about other than that 3/1 that he's probably going to kill. So he Galakrond. His hero power now is give your hero power 3 attack. Yeah, we're going to puzzle box. I think for the memes. We're going to puzzle box for memes. Okay, that's not good. That sucks. That was a really, really bad Reno. Or that was a really bad puzzle box. And now we're at the point where if we're not careful, we will run out. We're running the chance of burning our Reno, so we need to ditch that skeleton. We need to ditch. We need to start ditching some stuff. Gain 5 armor. That is a threat, right? That is something that needs to die right away. It sucks to do this. We're going to do that first. We're going to do that. Wait, what? Give a random taunt meaning. Oh, damn, I did that wrong. I read it wrong. Then missiles. We have stuff to do. The only thing about running Renathal is that when you draw it, it is just a 3-mana 3/4 vanilla card. But the benefits it gives you, giving you the 10 extra life and 10 extra cards, does in the long run give you a slight advantage. We've already puzzle boxed. We could just do the Dragon Caster if things get way out of hand. We could Dragon Caster into Kazakus Potion. We don't have a dragon in our hand, so that is a problem. We have the Volatile Skeleton. That is fine. That is less fine for health. Let's just Renathal because we need a board. Let's play that. And let's just ping and go. We're still kind of playing on... We're ahead in life is the thing, right? But we are playing on the back foot in terms of board state. We can't keep up with his board state. Not really what we wanted to see here. We'll go in. We'll do that to get... At the end of your turn, summon a random basic totem. Whenever your hero attacks a minion, set its health to 1. That does nothing for us. We'll just do that. Get his armor down a little bit. That does nothing, really, for us. Party favorite totem. We also have a really good out for big boards if we need it with the Reno. Because what's probably going to happen is he's going to deck out before we do because we have a card advantage. But he's also got the ability to just keep making making dudes if he gets a weapon. It's kind of a waste of counterspell, but can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. So this is kind of late in the game to be getting, but let's just do this now. That may have been a waste, but he was getting a little bit out of hand on board state. We probably could have taken some of the damage, but I'm afraid that he was going to buff him up and do a bunch. And then we do also have that to reduce damage by 1. We've got another 2 damage to all minions. We've got a board clear. If you have 4 more armor gain... Yeah, and it's stuff like that that is... So we're going to do that to negate some of the damage. We're running on... We need something big. We need a big bomb because he's just armoring up and playing these big bombs that we can't really deal with because we already played our missile. That is a bomb right there. That'll do it. That is a big bomb. We'll trade here. We'll do 6 and 1. We're just trying to push that advantage as far as we can. We can just RNG Reno it. I think we might do that just because we really don't have anything else to do in our hand that's going to be able to stop what he's doing. That is fine. Let's just go ahead and Reno. Disappear. So we made everybody disappear. We get a random thing that lets us cast a spell, which it is what it is. Nine cards to our 17. We just need a bomb. We need a big bomb that's gonna, like, seal the deal for us. And I don't know if we have any of that left. Probably our big... We still have Reno. So that is also an out if we need it. Gaining 5 armor to kind of pad himself. Gaining... We need a big bomb spell, is what we need. That's not a big bomb spell, but we'll take it. That's good. That's good. We'll go ahead and do that. I want to cast a spell. We don't really have much left in the way. We have Power of Creation now. Our big play now is to Dragoncaster into Power of Creation to get 2 big 6-cost minions to try to push in for lethal. Because he's kind of teetering, but he's... Interesting. Deal 1 damage to all minions. That's fine. We will take that. We're going to go with... We're going to go with Dragoncaster. We're going to go with that. We're going to hope we hit bombs. We do not have a dragon. So we're just trying to wall up. That's 10. He can do that to deal the damage, then swing in for that, and then he can get rid of our 2 6/5s. He could potentially cripple us if he has the 1 damage spells that hit all our board, because then he could do that, do his hero power. That's 2, puts him at 3. Swing in, those would die, and that would be the only one left. We do have another Lord of the Arena, I guess, if we just want to dump another vanilla 6/5 taunt. We're kind of... We are, like, heavily in top deck mode. But the only difference is he will die to that before we do because we have Reno. Oh, no! There goes our board. There goes our board. And there goes our board. We'll just play the Lord of the Arena. And... Her friendly minion takes damage. Give her enemy minion in your hand +1/+1. Let's go ahead and polymorph that. And then when that dies... We're gonna leave it. We're not gonna do it. We're gonna make him come to us. We're really banking on the him decking out strategy. We also still have evocation that can get us something choice potentially. Thalnos, probably a little late in the game for Thalnos. That is bad. That is really bad. Those are hard to deal with. So... we can do this and hopefully do some stuff. That is a thing we can do, I guess. The name of the game right now is keeping it from getting big baddies, big threats, because we are running out of removal here. Evocation can potentially net us. We have 10 cards in our deck, 4 cards in hand. That is bad. That is just flat bad for us. That is just straight bad for us. He's still got his 8 armor cards that are tradable, so he can pad up a little bit. Let's see. That's fine. Take the Malagos' Nova. So we are staying alive, but barely. We do have the life gain. If we can just get that 10 in on him. It's about time for him to start dropping. Crash, Lord of Turtling. We are in a bind here, I believe. Well, there went our... Goodness gracious. Let's just do Evocation. For each spell school you have cast this game, summon a 4/5 Vortex. After your opponent casts a spell, summon a random 4-cost minion. There we go. Now we've got these primordial vortexes that we can gain some life off of. And we've got lethal on board, so if he can't board wipe, he's just dead. He's going to have to start dropping his armor cards now. And we've got tons of stall with our hand, with our freeze. So I think we can stall out because we still have Reno in the deck. We've got 7 cards, he's got 2. We can play the waiting game a lot better than he can on sheer principle of being able to Reno. I think giving up the 4/3 golems may have been not good for him, just because now he doesn't have a... That's fine. He's just going to go in for that. That's fine. And then now we just win. Never mind. That's fine. We still win. We may have decked out, but we still win. We're going to bet it all on the RNG here. That doesn't do anything. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that was a very unfortunate Solarian. Because now he's just going to armor. He's going to have to start armoring up or he dies. I guess he's banking on the damage. We're still in a position to win, though. Annoyatron, get a dragon. Can't hurt to fill up our hand. Honestly, it really can at this point. So he's out of cards, we're out of cards, we're already taking fatigue. That's fine. Fuck your silence. That's fine. Now we're just gonna go, 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 push, push, push. That's unfortunate. So we're taking 5, he's taking 1. We can Alexstrasza on the next turn to restore 8 and negate some of the fatigue we're going to take. He's got no minions. I think he scoops. Because this got reborn, so even though he kills it, he's going to have to go through it again. So he can't immediately get directly at us, and we can just kill him with our built-up damage that we have. That is a dead card. That is a win con. All we have to do is plop it down. So we took 4 on the last turn, so it'll be 5 on this next turn. He may just try to wait it out for fatigue. And we won through fatigue. So that is pretty much the deck in a nutshell. As you can see in that game there, we were kind of on the back foot for a little bit, struggling with his board, but through just RNG spells and removal and Reno, actually Reno coming in clutch and winning us the game there just because we just got so, we generate so much value most of the time with our RNG cards. And I say most of the time because it is RNG. The Reno ability didn't do so much for us, but it is a good source of removal. I'm going to play around with this deck a little more and see if we can come up with a better V2 of the deck. If you've got any suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. There'll be the link to the deck code and to a GitHub repository where I'll be hosting all of my deck lists. As always, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Emerald Void, and before I go, I've just got one question for you. Are you feeling nostalgic yet?